Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 origin continent based on novel. So let's start. The bodies still need to be collected properly, can't waste them. From a distance, Morosa saw this scene and immediately cracked a smile, telepathically transmitting, "Thank you, Master. Please also leave Meiwu Chi's body to me." Meiwu Chi's bloodline is certainly extraordinary, the absorption effect must be very good. Master and servant, both were very calm. But the onlookers around them, including Meiwu Chi held in Luo Feng's other palm, were all unable to stay calm. He really killed him. The leader of the Huyang Guard, just like that, killed. Zhu Yu, Jiang Chengyu, Dream Flower Tao Master, Moyu Qingyang, along with a large number of customers, all held their breath, and from a distance, the thousands of true gods of void space level Huyang guards also felt their hearts tremble. This Lord Luo, he is exceptionally tyrannical. Lord Luo, he, indifferent to life and death, strikes as soon as he says he will. I had heard that there are some fierce ones who dare to kill members of the royal family, the Primal Chaos clan. Today I've really seen it. Those who could afford to patronize the Dream Flower Tower generally had some background and came from various forces within the city. They now watched the event's development attentively and rapidly relayed a great deal of information back to their respective places. Sir, the novel, F.I.et website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. The onlookers each had their thoughts, but Meiwu Chi, gripped in the palm of Luo Feng, was truly panicked. Watching his accomplice Qian Yuchong die, Meiwu Chi already felt death looming. In desperation, he said, "Lord Luo He, as long as you spare me, everything can be discussed. Whatever you want, I will do." Boom, accompanied by a terrifying fluctuation descending. Luo Feng looked up and saw in the night sky a vast spherical fortress appearing. The spherical fortress, like a black hole, was swallowing energy, also absorbing light, its might quite fearsome. One of the Huyang's 10 great legions, the Haiming Legion. Luo Feng recognized the newcomer. The Huyang Legion was much stronger than the Huyang Guards. The Huyang Guard Purple Jade Gen, that had just been killed, was only on par with the Blood Python Association leader, but a single Huyang Legion was far stronger, capable of overwhelming the Blood Python Association leader in a head-on fight. Overwhelming was easy, killing was difficult. It was only because they encountered Luo Feng that the Blood Python Association leader didn't escape. "Lord Luo He, I ask you to stop." The surface of the spherical fortress showed a three-eyed face. Meiwu Chi is an eternal true god from the Meiwu family. Even if he violated the rules, he should be judged by the city owner's mansion. "You can't take action. Can the city owner's mansion sentence him to death?" asked Luo Feng. The three-eyed face on the spherical fortress replied, "Lord Luo He, you've blown this matter up too big, and no matter what, the city owner's mansion can't be too biased. Even if Meiwu Chi doesn't die, he will be severely punished. Severe punishment won't do, he needs to die." Luo Feng's lips curved into a smile as he looked at Meiwu Chi in his palm. "Spare me, spare me," Meiwu Chi said urgently. "Lord Luo He, you're in the city. Without the city owner's mansion's trial, you've already killed one leader of the Huyang Guard. If you openly kill an eternal true god from one of the 5 great families, you are stepping on the face of the 5 great families. You should consider the consequences," said the three-eyed face on the surface of the spherical fortress. "What consequences?" Luo Feng said casually, "General Qiu Yi of the Haiming Legion, today Meiwu Chi must die. If you obstruct, then you should think about the consequences." The three-eyed face on the surface of the spherical fortress glanced at the collapsing Purple Jade Gen from afar, understanding the result of obstruction. Qian Yuchong had obstructed. Qian Yuchong had died. This Luo He is too fierce, his strength is perhaps not inferior to Shui Yun, General Qiu Yi mused silently, having also dealt with Shui Yun, the leader of Shi Kingdom's forces. The city owner's mansion tried everything, with Mo Li Xiao personally intervening, and even mobilizing the great formation of Huyang City to assist in several confrontations with Shui Yun, but they couldn't defeat Shui Yun. And now, General Qiu Yi felt that this Luo He should be no less formidable than Shui Yun. Even if several legions acted together under the leadership of Mo Li Xiao, they might fail to capture Luo He. General Qiu Yi mused to himself, this Mei Wuqi is mad, committing heinous crimes, and then, fearing that it wouldn't be known, drew too many eternal true gods to witness it. This led to today's catastrophe. General Qiu Yi, save me, save me, Mei Wuqi inside Luo Feng's palm cried out. He's watching you, the city owner's mansion is watching you right now, Luo Feng said to Mei Wuqi in his palm, but no one can save you, and anyone who dares try will be killed by me. Anyone daring to save you deserves death as well. Luo Feng spoke word by word. All the bystanders listened, and the senior officials monitoring from the city owner's mansion heard it too. Some were angry, some were as somber as still water, and some shook their heads and sighed. But no one intervened. Die, Luo Feng said to Mei Wuqi, as an invisible illusory realm instantly engulfed the consciousness of the terrified Mei Wuqi. This illusion technique was the forbidden move 9 Netherworlds kill that Luo Feng had learned from the 9 Netherworlds. Constructed with his peak primal chaos overlord level spiritual will, this particularly ruthless forbidden move was incredibly powerful when he cast it. Mei Wuqi, who had been bolstered by resources all the way, naturally had a rather fragile spiritual will and instantly sunk completely. You like to torture countless creatures, don't you? Now, experience the taste yourself. Do you still like it when you are the one being tortured? Luo Feng thought, and instantly pulled Mei Wuqi into the Star Tower. Inside an empty space within the Star Tower, Mei Wuqi lay there, writhing in agony, trembling, screaming in terror. Mei Wuqi's mental endurance was mediocre due to being pampered all his life, and the illusion technique's forbidden move, 9 Netherworlds kill, was too strong under the control, and with the construction of Luo Feng's perfect divine power. In the torturous agony, Mei Wuqi's consciousness disintegrated and he died within just more than 10 breaths of time. Such a weak spiritual will, Luo Feng said, his consciousness enveloping the space and observing everything. That Mei Wuqi was so useless was within his expectations. Inside Dream Flower Tower. Mei Wuqi is dead, the Dream Flower Tower master, Zhu Yu, and Jiang Chengyu all received the latest bounty mission pushed by the Flame Wind Association's Dark Hall. The bounty for Mei Wuqi was only a mere 20,000 cosmic sand. The 5 great families didn't care about this small bounty either. But now, this bounty mission was completed. Evidently, the Flame Wind Pavilion confirmed. Mei Wuqi was dead. He really killed Mei Wuqi. Zhu Yu and the others felt a mix of emotions. The 5 great families, each family having about 10 eternal true gods. These approximately 50 extraordinarily bloodlined eternal true gods were the core high-level individuals of Huyang City. They ruled over Huyang City. And Mei Wuqi was one of them. The killing of leader of Huyang Guard by Luo Feng had a terrible impact, but killing Mei Wuqi made the other high-level individuals naturally anxious. If Mei Wuqi could be killed today, could they also be killed tomorrow? Lord Luo He, I can't stop you, the 3-eyed face that appeared on the surface of the spherical fortress in the high sky lamented, but by killing Mei Wuqi, you've really made a mistake. Tell the 5 great families, if they want to make a move, just come, I'll take them all on. Luo Feng said, looking up at the sky. The spherical fortress said no more, a formless force wrapped around the disintegrating purple jade gem, and after collecting it, it shifted through the void and left directly. Luo Feng watched this scene from afar. All cleaned up. I feel relieved, Luo Feng said with a smile as he walked towards Zhu Yu. Brother Zhu Yu, do you dare to keep drinking with me? As long as Brother Luo He is willing to drink, I am always ready to accompany him. Zhu laughed heartily. It is truly prestigious to be able to drink with Brother Luo He nowadays. Although the acts Luo Feng had committed were ones that the eternal true gods within Huyang City dared not undertake due to the backing forces they had to consider. So the novel_fire.it website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. It didn't affect everyone's admiration. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Luo Feng, unconcerned about what he had just done, pulled Zhu back to the original hall. Morosa and Moyu Qingyang followed behind. He. Morosa laughed as he walked, feeling very happy. Lord Luo Sa, the master has done such a huge thing, and yet you laugh. Moyu Qingyang couldn't help but transmit his voice. The 5 great families probably won't let this go. And so what if they don't let it go? Morosa looked at Moyu Qingyang. Moyu Qingyang's expression was solemn as he transmitted his voice. There may be a storm of blood and gore. It will be their blood and gore. Morosa stretched out his hand and ruffled Moyu Qingyang's head, smiling happily as he transmitted his voice. You'll understand in time, my boy. Their blood and gore. Moyu Qingyang followed behind, deep in thought. As Luo Feng returned to the hall to continue drinking, other guests within the Dream Flower Tower grew completely restless. They were either fervently discussing, or quickly leaving to report back to their own forces in detail. Meanwhile, the thousands of true gods of void space from the Huyang guards discreetly took their leave. The incidents at the Dream Flower Tower spread rapidly within Huyang City, fermenting. In that hall of the Dream Flower Tower, Luo Feng and Zhu sat opposite each other, drinking and chatting with ease and comfort. Brother Luo, what you did has truly pierced the heavens in Huyang City. Zhu exclaimed, the eternal true gods from the 5 great families are like the sky of Huyang City, and you've killed one of them. They certainly won't let this go easily. And what can they do if they don't let it go? Luo Feng said, holding his wine cup lightly with a smile. I am openly in Huyang City, and I would like to see what they can do. Zhu could see that Lord Luo, he truly wasn't afraid of the 5 great families. I admire that, Zhu sighed, my Zhu clan wouldn't dare to do such things. You have the concerns of a family, so naturally, you need to be more cautious, Luo Feng said with a smile. I am a lone wanderer, now with just 2 servants by my side. I have no ties and can afford to act freely and boldly. Zhu nodded, but brother Luo, you must be careful. Even if no one within Huyang City can harm you, they might invite strong forces from other places. I have given the city owner's mansion enough respect. Luo Feng poured himself another drink. Tonight I merely killed the deeply sinful Mei Wu Qi, and his accomplice Chen Yu Chong, and I didn't touch the other Huyang guards. Even Purple Jade Gen I let them take away. My actions were quite restrained. Even if the news reaches the ears of the Primal Chaos Overlord, they would have to commend me. Commend you? Zhu was taken aback. Luo Feng glanced at him, that you wouldn't understand. The godly kings and primal chaos overlords sit high above. Their clans have proliferated over endless years, and the number of clan members is countless. They can't even settle them in their own territories, and have to place a large number of clan members in other primal chaos prefectures. For the godly kings and primal chaos overlords, they need the massive resources provided by cities, Luo Feng said. Yes, Zhu nodded. The vast cities, the residence fees paid by countless true gods, maintain the operations of the city owner's mansion, Huyang Guards, and Huyang Legion, and the rest was almost entirely delivered to the godly kings and primal chaos overlords. A single true god pays little, but the massive number of cities in the Yu Kingdom deliver much when combined, Luo Feng continued. That's what the godly kings and primal chaos overlords value most, and so they set laws. They ensure sufficient safety within the cities, convincing countless true gods to willingly pay the residence fees. But Mei Wu Qi, who slaughtered millions of the city's citizens, should the godly kings and primal chaos overlords hear of it, they'd be the first to want to kill Mei Wu Qi. Luo Feng shook his head. By killing Mei Wu Qi, the godly kings and primal chaos overlords would only commend me, not even punish me. Any punishment at all, and they would be mocked by other godly kings and primal chaos overlords in the Yu Kingdom. Zhu's eyes brightened. Brother Luo, your insight is exceptional, understanding the minds of the godly kings and primal chaos overlords. Indeed, the primal chaos overlords wouldn't intervene in such matters. The clans of the primal chaos overlords are immense. Would the primal chaos overlords intervene in every trivial matter? Are they their subordinates? Luo Feng shook his head. Without a major incident that truly enrages the primal chaos overlords, they will not care. Having the inheritances from both Duandong River and God King Jin, Luo Feng was well aware of some behavioral styles of the godly kings and primal chaos overlords. For those existing at the highest echelons of the land of origin, countless clan members already needed to experience trials and selections. The weak and foolish were weeded out, and only the strong and excellent remained. Luo Feng was right. The primal chaos overlord of the Meiwu clan, even when aware of such incidents occurring in the distant Zhujiang primal chaos prefecture branch of their clan, would verbally commend the killings on his lips. He even sternly demanded that the clan must not commit similar acts again. There are also other places where lone individuals like me reside, Luo Feng said. I consider myself someone who abides by the rules. Yes, I also know that some eternal true gods have passed through cities, killing at will, and the identities of the murderers could not be traced, Zhu nodded. While chatting casually, Luo Feng also diverted his attention to investigate the items left by Mei Wuqi. What concerned him most was the secret treasure, Sinful City. The secret treasure, Sinful City, was indeed personally carried by Mei Wuqi. There are still over 180 million citizens within this sinful city. Luo Feng, with his divine power penetrating, confirmed the number of survivors in an instant, but the scenes within Sinful City made even him shudder. The remaining 180 million citizens, each had endured tremendous torture, many of their spirits were twisted, their auras chaotic and frenzied. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. The cave dwellings in the Primal Chaos Armor sector, within Huyang City, were the most expensive, and the dwellings numbered 1 to 5 were owned by the 5 great families. Primal Chaos Armor Number 1 and Primal Chaos Armor Number 2 were owned by the 2 royal families. Primal Chaos Armor Number 3 cave dwelling was owned by the most powerful Moli clan. Primal Chaos Armor Number 4 cave dwelling belonged to the Marquis of Zhujiang clan, with Zhujiang Primal Chaos Prefecture being the Marquis's fief. Even though Huyang City was still managed by the official authorities of Yu Kingdom, the Marquis would demand a large portion of resources, and send part of his clan here also to supervise the resources. Primal Chaos Armor Number 5 cave dwelling was owned by the Meiwu clan, a prominent Primal Chaos clan in the entire Yu Kingdom, boasting 2 Primal Chaos overlords. The family branch dispatched to Huyang City could also rank among the 5 great families. At this moment, within the large cave dwelling of the Meiwu clan, the family's upper echelon had already gathered. 8 figures sat around. Our Meiwu family branch in Huyang City has 9 eternal true gods altogether, and now only 8 remain, the leading black-haired elder, whose body was sprouting some branches and leaves, said. Mei Wuqi was publicly executed. Luo he simply did not regard our Meiwu family at all. He did not even use a small cosmic domain to cover it up, killing Mei Wuqi in broad daylight in full view. For such an insult to our Meiwu family, he must die, said a high-ranking clan member grimly, eyes full of murderous intent. We should invite an expert from our ancestral land to come and kill this Luo he. They were a branch dispatched here, but in the distant ancestral lands, that's where the core of the Meiwu family lies. Nearly 10,000 eternal true gods, nurtured over endless years, included 2 primal chaos overlords, all resided there. The real elites of the Meiwu family indeed had entities more formidable than Moli Xiao. Fools! We can't let this matter leak to the ancestral land. You came to Huyang City just to revel in pleasures, as foolish as Mei Wuqi. How can we inform the ancestral land about this sort of matter? Several high-ranking clan members immediately rebuked angrily. The leading black-haired elder nodded and said, Mei Wuqi massacred hundreds of millions of citizens within the city. It is an irrefutable heinous crime. God kings and primal chaos overlords have decreed that the safety of the citizens within the cities be ensured. Thus, today's matter must absolutely not be reported. Many things, if not escalated, remain minor issues. If our ancestors knew, each of us would be punished. The 8 senior members of the Meiwu family also understood that they were just a very marginal branch within the entire Meiwu clan. If they angered the elders, they might all be taken away to perform laborious and exhausting tasks, and the pleasure of enjoying life in Huyang City would fall into the hands of other branches of their clan. Publicly, we cannot pursue this matter. But secretly, we must let the entire Huyang City know that whoever dares to slap the face of the 5 great families will pay a price. Find a way to deal with him. Even if we can't kill him, we must force him into a miserable hiding, only lurking in the shadows, never daring to appear openly again. If this matter is not resolved, it's not just our Meiwu family that loses face. In the eyes of all parties in Huyang City, Luo he is seen as slapping the face of the entire 5 great families. The other 4 families must also exert their effort. As they discussed, they were engulfed in rage. After all, they had been high and mighty for too long, and could not tolerate an eternal true God defying them like this. Suddenly, the face of the leading black-haired elder changed. This is bad. What happened? Asked the other 7 family seniors who were discussing. Luo he has gone mad, the black-haired elder urgently said. He has released the surviving hundreds of millions of citizens from Meiwuchi's sinful city, and set them free in Huyang City. This video will end here.